firing that.
You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. As we left off yesterday, I need to get the pump, and I also need to get my fill port, which is in the barn, and bring it out, and we'll just set it. I was looking for pallets, and I'm driving myself crazy, and yeah, I got 2 of them here. I knew I had it. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta go home and start fresh in the morning. Thing we are gonna run into here. Pretty sure my port is way up there. I forget exactly where it is. I should have got it out. Yep. It is right here. Let me tell you, it's not light. So I would like to get this out. Somebody gave us this. So it's a lathe, belt driven lathe and everything else like that. Would be cool to mess around with it and get back into some of that stuff. Usually I don't need stuff like that, but being able to do it is cool. It's kind of a dying thing in this world. Freaking birds. So I built this one back when I set the other tank up because I was like, oh, we're gonna rebuild the Mac one. And well, I never got around to swapping that out, and I don't know if I'm gonna. I've thought about it, but this has been sitting for 3 years now. Oh. So might as well put it to good use. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this out of here. I don't know if I can get in it and pick it up high enough or what. Oh. Pretty heavy, and it's an awkward shape. I think that's gonna be my best bet if I can get in and walk it all the way out. Another door. Got the ports already cut out. It's got the lip around it, so that's all welded. I wish I made the other one taller. It may be just taller out of the truck, out of the trailer. This one's gonna sit up higher no matter what, strictly because I want the heights the same, so when you're filling them we don't have a lot of deviation in height and then the pipes not being in the right spot. So last night, well, we found out the pallets stuck to the floor. Oh. Alrighty, we'll load this one up with the goods and bring that stuff over. I'm not sure exactly how much or what I'm going to use. Yeah, this is a used pump housing. I got when I got the plows from Zach Olson. Actually, he took it off his truck just because it was slower going than what he wanted. But for what I'm gonna do, for nursing, we just sit there a little longer. And like I said, we'll just get we'll get a more flow pump on the truck. So that's what I'm thinking. So this truck, we need to do the nurse boom, and we got to fix this air leak that is in there, slow leak. So we're gonna get it pulled out so that I can run the loader right up in here, and I can actually set stuff up there, and we can start looking at what we're gonna do as far as mounting. And then from there, we'll get the plasma cutter and we'll start cutting. I do not have wire to weld stainless to regular steel, and since the tank is stainless, kind of got to get that. So that will be on my list for tomorrow. Yeah, probably I can stop Air Gas in Worcester and grab some. Well, or actually tomorrow's Sunday, everything's blended together. But we'll get this started up, and then we'll get it moved out of here, and then we'll back it in after. Not such a bad thing to have it in here. Went out front, got the plasma cutter and the small portable air compressor. There's a package sitting there for me. Doesn't have an from address. Oh, yes sir. You got the info in it? Friggin' work light. My brother's got one of these. A lower ground one. That's slick. I'm gonna have to look back through the videos. Somebody did say they were sending me a light, so you guys are wild. Yeah, it doesn't have any. Doesn't have a name. You guys are wild. That will come in handy. So I got my Milwaukee one that sits up higher, and then I'll have this one on the ground level or wherever I want it, but laying the Milwaukee one on the ground doesn't ever work out well, so. Let me put it together. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Keeps me going. All the support. Y'all are great group of people I got that follow the channel. It goes barking at stuff. So glorious light, 50 watt. Oh yeah, appreciate it. Got my power supply. Got everything over here. Little air compressor. Yeah, you're supposed to have clean air for that, but that's what I got for right now. So I'm sitting here, and all of a sudden I get a phone call from Dylan Clark, who we've all watched. He was draglining for Walton's. Now he's out welding for himself, so I got some things that he might come out here and weld up for me, and some projects. He might go on tour. So I'm sitting here, and he calls me and says, hey, look in the Snapchat group. Travis put it in there. So I text Travis. They just took a dry hill setup off with a nurse boom. They stole some parts out of it, like the gate valve in between, stuff like that. And he also said, oh, we might have a full Hool nurse setup as well. So I'm like, well, give me some prices on what you want. So the GoPro stops dying, and I stop getting phone calls. We'll be good. I'll explain what's going on. So Travis just called me back. He's gonna get me a price on what they want for that used setup. It's 8-inch pump. So this is a 6-inch pump. So the capacity is just that much greater, which that is cool. So 8-inch pump, dry hill with a swivel, and the nurse boom. We'd have to put a valve in to stop it so it will spread or nurse. Nothing too crazy there. And then run hydraulics, and they're taking the pump off of it as far as the hydraulic actual pump. But that pretty much makes me feel, I was thinking mid-mount so that I could come up and just use one to spread, so I'd have one less valve. So it would come out, I'd run the pipe up like just on the outside or put it through just a little bit. Put the swivel there, run the nurse boom all the way back. From here, we'd have a spread plate, or we'd have the piece go down to fill trucks. And then you'd switch between them as you did it. But if I can get that at a decent price, which if you haven't watched the videos, because Travis sent me it the other day, somebody from Wisconsin was watching it, one of his buddies. This spring we watched both crews run. So Dylan Clark was running one of his crews, and Travis was running the other crew out at Lamb's farm at Lakeside, and then I think the home farm, I forget, Oakfield Corner maybe. So if that's the case and Travis got the hookup on that, we will be going to the farm show in New York the 25th, I think we're going. And if he can hook me up with that, I will bring the trailer and we'll get a nurse boom for this. So that kind of makes me not want to cut that hole in, because I'm not exactly sure how everything else is going to line up. But I guess I really don't have much choice, because I want to leave the integrity of the tank on the top. So the boom is going to be where the boom is going to be. Well, the fill port is going to be where the fill port's going to be. Usually their booms, most tankers, they come right out and go straight up. But if we got to come out and angle it a little bit and then go up, we could do that so that it sits on the side. It's always nice when it sits on the left side. You can see it as you're sitting on the road, filling trucks and then putting it back on. So that means this is going to come off. The ladder is easy enough to move. It does make it nice because there's some structure to mount it to. Same with on the bottom. But yeah, when you think you got a plan going, you get a phone call and it all changes. So I guess we'll see. We'll still cut that door in. So we're gonna go all the way down to where the holes are, like an inch above it. So we have a bunch sticking out. That will definitely help us It won't be as tall as the other one, which is perfectly fine by me, but it will mean that actually we'll need 2 knife valves, because if we're spreading, we'll need 2 smaller valves, because if we're spreading, then that means it could run right out the back. That's the only downside of having a nurse boom set up like that. I guess that's not the end of the world. Yeah. We could have a manual one. No, might as well do the hydraulics and just switch them. Alrighty, just thinking. So we gotta cut the welds off that to get that out of the way, so this sits in there. I got the blanket up. I got a fire extinguisher. I got my respirator, because the paint that's on these tanks is not so good for you. So cut it off with the plasma cutter, then that can sit down. We got to turn that though. Okay. Bingo. Since everybody's all worked up with comments I see about getting in a tank, things like that. That other tank that I did, that whole tank that I was in for a while, was literally sitting for 5 years, aerated for like 3 days. I had a hole that was much bigger than this stuck in the back, and all the vents were open. So yeah, that's why I spent so much time in that tank. And manure tanks, a majority of the manure tanks in the US are used fuel tanks, usually aluminum ones, but still the stainless steel one's going to be pretty slick because of its ability to not corrode. So that's why that, but it will have steel components and whatnot. But yeah, people are worked up over that. Same with, this is not mud, this is millings that got wet. So I think I said that earlier in the video, but I do not plan on getting in here by myself. I'll have somebody come, but we're gonna cut a big hole in the back. That way even more air will get in. We'll cut it for this, so this will sit inside of it. As you see, we're on it now. So I gotta spin this around, set it in the back where I like it. We ain't on fire yet. Both the front and the back cut, so we just got to do the sides. There's a curvature of it, but we'll move it back. I still got the respirator on because yeah, it is some nasty stuff. I could see through that hole that there was a baffle right, it's right here. So there's a baffle there, which I did not expect. So there's a baffle there. There's one there. There's got to be one there. One there, one there. So there's quite a few baffles in here, which makes it better for less slosh, but it means we're gonna have to cut enough of this baffle out so that this door fits down, and then every baffle is gonna have to be cut so that it actually fills well and drains well. So not a bad thing. It means the tank's more structurally sound than like my other one has 3 baffles and it's shorter. Is it short? Yeah, it's shorter, but it has 3 baffles and it's not shorter by that much. So we'll have to cut around that baffle to get this out, and then we'll see what it looks like. There we go. So I got it cut right up to here where there's a baffle. And as we see, we're gonna have to cut this baffle down. We might go all the way down to the bottom and across, so it's a big open spot. That might help us some. Give it some space. And then do it across the other side. And then this will be right out of it. So that back baffle really, I wish it wasn't there. Alrighty. Some of your dogs doing hood rat things. Where you been? This is what Yanko does. He does his own thing. You having a good... Oh, you were eating something. You're licking your lips. I missed you. You didn't help me. We could get you a welding mask and call it good. Come on up here. What's up, buddy? Yeah, you a good boy. Woo! That's a step in the right direction. So we got that hole in so we can really ventilate it and we can cut the baffles. Once we do that, then we will be pretty good. I think that's going to be enough for tonight. I got to clean up my mess and back the white truck in. Yeah, that'll be my plan, because I don't need... It can stay in here now. I got the box up there, so I knew the shape. Probably tomorrow we'll take the spare tire off so we got a general idea of what's going on behind it. I guess you guys can't see nothing. Hold on. There we go. So I guess tomorrow we'll take the spare tire off, see what's really going on behind there, what we got to work with. But overall, cutting that hole, figuring out some plans. This extension cord is going to be really handy. So I'll take down my blanket, pick up my stuff, back the other truck in, and we'll get out of here. So, oh, the tractor flashes at you if you leave the lights on and walk away, so that you know you're gonna kill the battery. Actually, I think it shuts off after a period if you leave the lights on long enough. So that is handy. Usually you don't leave the lights on and walk away though. You notice they're on. Alrighty. I'm gonna get packed up and get out of here. Appreciate you guys watching, all the good comments. I'm hoping, I guess we'll see tomorrow. Travis will get back to me on that nurse kit. I think that will be the best bet we go with. Using that pump would be good. Could be good. Definitely gonna put it on the back. We'll leave that drain in the front because that is a good drain. It goes underneath. There's like a, I'll explain. We got to get the fan going and then we'll get in and start cutting baffles out. And then, yeah, should be good. So I'm excited for this project. This is having 2 manure trucks. Granted, yep, I know. Currently I'm pumping 1.5 million maybe gallons a year. But the big thing is we got to get manure spread quickly. Otherwise, everything else drags on. So if I can spread manure in 2-3 days with some of the distance we run, which in the spring and then throughout the year, and quickly put it on, it makes my life so much easier that I can be on to the next project. So having 2 trucks is going to be a huge benefit. Plus, we'll set this one up with a dump trailer as well, because we're always short a truck as far as doing harvesting. But appreciate you guys watching along. Yeah, you guys are awesome. I got to remember who sent that light. I'll drop it where it said before. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, I never expected any of that to ever come. So I enjoy showing off what I do. And this is just, yep, lights are off. I guess that's time to go. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.